But I was like, I really don't want to come back to this industry if it's going to go up and down like this, because I heard that a lot.
Uh-huh.
So I told my husband, I said, you know what? I don't think I want to go back into engineering just yet. I want to uh, see what I can do in education. I want to be a sub and see how that goes. So I became a long-term sub. I came in the middle of a semester, taught eighth grade math, four different math classes, and a reading class. So I had to prepare for five different classes, and I didn't know that that was a no-no, that you don't do that,
Yeah.
especially as your first year as a teacher, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
And the principal really liked me. He gave me a book. He hired me over Christmas break. He says, read this and just be ready to go. So I did it. And I can tell you that I was so dumbfounded. I had no idea how hard it was to be a teacher. I mean, you don't know until you do it.
Yeah.
And the kids can be really awful. And they were. They were really, especially seventh and eighth graders, they're just bad. But what I had done was in the middle of the semester, I had, no, actually at the end of the semester, I said, this is the career that I want to have because it was very rewarding. And I had written a long email to the whole staff and I said, I can't believe you guys do this. This is unbelievable. And I'm going to do it myself because I think it's such an important job and you do make an impact. Um, it may be a little impact, but I mean, it's important. So when I was an engineer, I think I told you I would go and talk at different schools about engineering to kids, and I loved that. And that's what kind of inspired me to try the teaching thing. So I taught for almost 15 years
Wow.
math. I got to teach some engineering and some coding, some IT. And of course, the technical classes I love to teach. Math, not so much because the kids don't want to be there. They really don't want to learn math. So it was a very challenging subject to teach
Yeah, I can
because they
imagine.
just did not want it because I had the lower level kids and I also had the special ed kids. So they really did not want to be there.
Yeah.
So it was
And
very challenging, super, super challenging.
yeah.
But I
So
loved it. I loved it.
yeah, and it's so hard, right? Whenever the kids they can't see it in context. They don't understand why the math is important because they don't see how it's applied, which which is I assume why you taught for a long time, but then eventually you got to doing what you do now, which you're involved with girls in tech, where that's where the rubber meets the road, right? Where you're actually showing girls where that math becomes applicable. So how'd you get involved with girls in tech?
Never losing focus because I ain't chasing payments. Still playing in the basement while I'm working on arrangements. They heard the kid in 50 countries, thank God that's amazing. But I'd rather thank Spotify, they put me on the station.